What's up, y'all? It is definitely a pleasure to be here. Thank you all so much, Seneca, for having me. And I just want to congratulate everybody for showing up. If anything today, I think that we should literally all give ourselves a pat on the back. Um, Sometimes as a leader, the hardest thing for us to do that nobody knows is actually showing up. Showing up. There's so many things that we have to do to show up as a leader that it's almost like it goes unnoticed. But when you're a leader, you show up regardless of what things look like, regardless of what things feel like, regardless of what barriers or challenges you have, you show up. So thank you all so much for showing up today. The first question that I want to ask in the chat, and it's the biggest question. If you feel that you are a leader, if you feel like you are called for someone to follow you, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you feel that you are a leader or you feel that someone can follow you. Oh, we got a lot of ones in the building. Okay, I see it. I see it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, preparing this moment, there was a quote, and y'all, I had to step out of the box. I know that we are representing MLK today, but your girl had to do something different. I came across this quote, and it's by Ursula Le Guin, and it hit home with me in regards to us being leaders on this line. It said, the worst walls are never the ones we find in your way. The worst walls are the walls that you put there. Oh my God, that was powerful. My first question to all the leaders, those that took the courage to put a 1 in the box, I want to ask you all a question. What was the last wall that you built? What was the last wall that you wanted to tear down? And the last question is, what does it look like when we lead from a pure heart? Those are some questions that came up for me when I thought about the life of MLK, when I thought about the life of me as a leader, when I thought about those that would show up today. Those are some of the questions that popped up for me. What are some walls that you have put up? What are some that you want to tear down? I see you, Zahara. Anger, trust, hate, self-doubt. Oh my God, y'all, those are some powerful walls. And the good thing about it is, as a leader, as each of us has acknowledged today that we are leaders, we as leaders have the power to remove those walls. So if you don't walk away with anything today, the pain of death, I can relate to that, Kyler. I can relate to that. Trauma, Brittany, I can relate to that. The thing that I want us to walk away with today, depression, I can relate to that, is that as a leader, we have the power to endure. We have the characteristic of courage. And mine, the one that I embrace so boldly, is integrity. MLK definitely had the characteristic of integrity and just like each of you, as we acknowledge some of our walls that we have put in our own path, the trust, the anger, the self-hate, the pain from death, depression, trauma, all of those are true realities of our walls. But the good thing about it is that as a leader, as one that is leading from the heart, we definitely have the power to dismantle those walls brick by brick. And sometimes, depending on how you built that wall, some of us have built walls of steel. Like, no, this is my wall and this is as far as you're gonna get. You're not gonna touch my trauma. You're not gonna touch my self-doubt. You're not gonna touch my depression. This is as close as you're gonna get to me. But as a leader leading from the heart, just as MLK did, we can dismantle those walls and we can still show up to be the best version of ourselves. And I want each of you to know on this line that you are definitely leading from the heart. The first thing is that you showed up today. And I congratulate each and every one of you all for showing up in your lives. the days that you did not want to show up, the days that you did not want to show up at the family gathering, or the day that you did not want to show up at school, the day that you did not want to keep your word, but you still showed up. Thank you. Thank you for showing up and leading from the heart. I remember the day that I became a leader. It was crazy. It was crazy. You know, as a kid, y'all, I was the kid that did all the crazy stuff. Like back in the day, I thought I was like part of the what is it, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like we used to, like, in our neighborhood, we used to climb up under the sewage thing, like go up under the ground and come out on the other side. Now, the day that people started, the other kids in the neighborhood started following me, that gave me an indication that I was a leader. If they got in the dirt with me to go under the street to come out on the other side, oh yeah, I was a leader for sure. I was a leader. Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Kyler. I was a leader in the making, and I didn't even know, y'all. We didn't have the outfits of but in our heads, we were definitely the Ninja Turtles for sure. Now, growing, as I continued to grow and I began to develop my own personality, develop my own characteristics, I realized that, you know what, Akeia, you are a leader. I realized by the time I made it to middle school that I was that square that always tried to fit in the triangle. And news alert, guys, we'll never fit in. When you're a leader, when you're leading from the heart, you will never fit in. That's a news flash for some of us. Because for some of us, for all of our lives, we always try to be accepted. We've always wanted to be embraced. But guess what? Show up and be you, and the rest will follow. There's so many times that I found people following me, and I'm like, are y'all sure? Because I used to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Kyler. I used to do crazy things. I started working at the age of 14. That was another indication that I was a leader. Instead of doing what my environment dictated, whether I would steal to survive, or I would use drugs, or fall into just the reckless life of carrying weapons and fighting all the time, I chose to get a job. I chose to work. I chose to take care of myself and my youngest brother, because I was tired of not looking like the other kids. I was tired of wearing hand-me-down clothes. So at age 14, that was the first time that I started wearing new clothes. Me trying to be a leader, me trying to stand out. I realized that just as MLK did, he dismantled all the walls that stood in his way. At 14, I dismantled the walls that were standing in my way, just like you have. The fact that you're on this call today, a lot of those walls that we have endured, the trauma, the depression, the feeling of anger, we've dismantled those walls and we're showing up as leaders. So I encourage you today to identify what your characteristic is as you're leading with a heart, as you're leading with a heart as a leader. What will your characteristics be as a leader? For mine, my big one, my big takeaway is integrity. Integrity makes me show up and be an honest person, and integrity causes me to show up and have respect for others. Integrity allows me to have a heart of gratitude, as Tess was talking about, as Jeremiah mentioned, to have a heart of gratitude, as Kevin talked about, of showing up is the first indication that you are a leader. And leading from the heart allows you to dismantle walls that will keep you stagnant, that will keep you from holding back to being your ultimate self. So today I congratulate you, each of you, for being a leader, for showing up, for identifying what your characteristic is as a leader. And like I said, for me, it's integrity. So you all keep leading and know that you are definitely capable of being followed. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Akeia. Man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Break down those walls. Break down those walls. Man, that's good.